my fellow Americans. I am here before you because just 1 minute ago, I received a final classified briefing confirming a series of events that have transpired in the waters of the Middle East events that represent a direct and unacceptable assault on the freedom of the seas and the stability of the global economy. Over the last 14 hours, in the narrow and vital waters of the Strait of Hormuz, the Iranian regime has conducted a coordinated, systematic, and violent campaign against international commerce. As of 60 seconds ago, we have confirmed that 6 commercial vessels, tankers, and cargo ships flying the flags of multiple nations have been struck, boarded, or disabled. 6 ships, 14 hours. When we talk about the significance of the passage of time, we must look at what can happen in 14 hours. In 14 hours, a family can travel across an ocean. In 14 hours, a shift of workers can power a city. And in 14 hours, a rogue actor can attempt to choke the very arteries of global trade. The Strait of Hormuz is not just a geographic location, it is a lifeline. It is a corridor through which 20% of the world's petroleum and liquefied natural gas flows every single day. When you strike a ship in the strait, you aren't just hitting metal and oil. You are hitting the global supply chain. You are hitting the gas stations in Ohio. You are hitting the factories in Europe. You are hitting the power plants in Asia. This is an attempt to hold the world hostage. It is an attempt to say to the international community that the rule of law no longer applies at sea. But the United States of America has a different vision. We have a vision of a world that is unburdened by the chaos of maritime piracy and state-sponsored terror. We have a vision of a world where the what can be is a global commons that belongs to everyone and is protected by all. I want to talk about the process of these 14 hours. It began with a frantic distress call from a Liberian-flagged tanker, then a Japanese-owned vessel, then ships from Norway and the United Arab Emirates. Each strike was a calculated provocation. Each strike was designed to create a cascading effect of fear. Iran wants the insurance markets to panic. They want the shipping companies to retreat. They want the world to believe that the passage through the strait is a gauntlet that cannot be run. But let me be clear. The United States Navy, the greatest maritime force in the history of humanity, is not retreating. Our allies are not retreating. We are currently in the process of a massive naval repositioning. We are activating the full protocols of our maritime security coalitions. We are ensuring that the vision we have for safe passage is backed by the steel and the fire of our resolve. Now, why is this happening? It is happening because the Iranian regime is unburdened by the responsibilities of a modern state. They see the world as it was, a place of shadows and secrets, rather than the world as it can be, a place of transparency and cooperation. They are lashing out because they are isolated. They are lashing out because they believe that if they can make the world suffer, they can force the world to look away from their own domestic failures and their regional aggressions. But we see them. We see every launch. We see every fast boat. We see every mine and every missile. Our eyes in the sky, even as they are contested, remain fixed on the truth. I want to speak for a moment to the merchant sailors, to the men and women of all nationalities who are currently on those ships, navigating those dangerous waters. You are the invisible thread that holds the global economy together. You are the ones who ensure that the lights stay on and the engines stay running. Your safety is our priority. We are coordinating with the International Maritime Organization. We are providing real-time intelligence to every commercial hull in the region. You are not alone in those waters. The weight of the United States is behind you. When we consider the significance of the passage of time, we must also consider the history of the law of the sea. For centuries, the world has agreed that the oceans are a common heritage, that no one nation can claim the right to shut down a global choke point, that freedom of navigation is not a suggestion, it is a foundational principle of civilization. By striking 6 ships in 14 hours, Iran has declared itself an enemy of that principle. They have declared themselves an outlaw state in the truest sense of the word. They are trying to turn back the clock to an era of privateers and blockades. But we are moving forward. I have spent the afternoon on the phone with our partners in London, in Paris, in Riyadh, and in Tokyo. The response is unanimous. This is not just an American problem. This is a global emergency. When the price of oil spikes because of a missile strike in the Strait, it doesn't just affect the United States. It affects the developing world. It affects the ability of families to heat their homes. It is a direct assault on the economic security of every human being on this planet. We are therefore calling for an immediate and permanent cessation of these hostilities. But we are not just calling for it. We are preparing for the work that remains to be done to enforce it. I want to address the vision of our administration. We have been criticized by some who say we are too focused on diplomacy, too focused on what can be, rather than the harsh realities of what is. But diplomacy is not a weakness. Diplomacy is the process of building the coalitions that make our military power more effective. Because we have done the work of diplomacy, when we move into the Strait of Hormuz tonight, we do not move alone. We move with the support of a global community that is outraged by this behavior. There is a profound significance to the way we respond to this hour. If we react with a lack of clarity, the adversary is emboldened. If we react with a lack of unity, the adversary finds a gap. But when we react with a singular, focused vision, a vision that says the seas will remain open, then the adversary realizes they have made a catastrophic strategic error. I have directed the State Department to work with the United Nations to establish a maritime exclusion zone for Iranian military assets that threaten commercial traffic. We are working with our cyber commands to identify and neutralize the communication networks that coordinate these strikes. And we are making it clear to the leadership in Tehran, you cannot hide behind the anonymity of a shadow war. We know who you are, we know what you are doing, and we know how to stop it. The 1 minute ago briefing I received was not just a list of casualties and damages. It was a call to action. It was a reminder that the world requires leadership that is steady, leadership that is experienced, and leadership that understands the interconnectedness of our modern life. You see, the significance of the passage of time is that it allows us to see the patterns. The pattern over the last 14 hours is one of escalating desperation. Iran is trying to prove it can close the strait. We are going to prove that they cannot. To the American people at home, I know that when you hear about ships being hit, your first thought is of the cost. You think about the price of gas. You think about the kitchen table issues. And you are right to think that way. That is why this matters. Foreign policy is domestic policy. What happens in the Strait of Hormuz affects the paycheck of the worker in Pennsylvania and the farmer in Iowa. We are defending the strait because we are defending the American economy. We are unburdened by the isolationist rhetoric of the past. We know that America cannot be secure if the world's trade routes are on fire. We know that we cannot have a vision for a thriving America if we allow rogue regimes to dictate the terms of global commerce. This is the moment. This is the test. I think about the words freedom of navigation. It sounds like a technical term. It sounds like something for lawyers and admirals. But it is actually a beautiful concept. It is the idea that the world is open. It is the idea that we can reach one another. It is the idea that a ship can set sail from one port and arrive at another without being hunted by the forces of chaos. We are the guardians of that idea. Tonight, the eyes of the world are on the Strait of Hormuz. But more importantly, the eyes of the United States are on the Iranian regime. We are watching the launch sites. We are watching the command centers. We are watching the harbors where the fast boats are moored. And we are saying to the world, the passage of time will not diminish our resolve. 14 hours of aggression will be met with a lifetime of vigilance. I want to speak to the young people who are watching this. You might see this and feel that the world is a dangerous place, and it can be, but it is also a place of incredible potential. We are working to build a world where the oceans are not a battleground, but a bridge. We are working to build a world where the what can be is a global community that values cooperation over confrontation. But to get to that world, we must be strong, we must be clear, and we must be united. I am in constant contact with the president. He has been briefed on the 1 minute ago data. We are in complete alignment. The orders have been given. The assets are in motion. The vision is being implemented. We do not seek a war with Iran. We do not seek to close the strait ourselves. We seek exactly the opposite. We seek an open, free, and secure maritime environment for all. But let it be known to any actor who seeks to disrupt that environment, the cost will be high, the response will be sophisticated, and the result will be your failure. There is a significance to the 6 ships. Each one represents a crew. Each one represents a set of families waiting for their loved ones to come home. Each one represents a set of consumers waiting for the goods on board. We are thinking of those crews tonight. We are thinking of the trauma they have endured over these last 14 hours. And we are promising them that their sacrifice will not be ignored. We will rebuild the vision of the strait. We will restore the confidence of the shipping industry. We will ensure that the flow of energy and goods continues because the world depends on it. I want to return to the idea of the 14 hours. 14 hours is a short time in the history of the world, but it is a long time when you are under fire. It is a long time when you are waiting for help. We are making sure that the next 14 hours look very different. We are making sure that the next 14 hours are defined by the restoration of order and the assertion of American and allied power. We are unburdened by the doubts of those who say the United States is in retreat. Look at our carriers. Look at our destroyers. Look at our satellites. Does that look like retreat? No. That looks like leadership. That looks like the vision of a superpower that understands its responsibility to the world. We will keep you informed. We will be transparent about the challenges and the successes. We will not hide the significance of the situation. But I ask you to have faith. Have faith in our sailors, have faith in our technology, have faith in our alliances, and have faith in the enduring power of the American spirit to bring light to the dark places of the world. The Strait of Hormuz will remain open, freedom of navigation will be preserved, and the Iranian regime will learn that you cannot break the world's lifeline without facing the world's resolve. As we look toward the morning, let us remember that the sun rises on a world that is interconnected, a world that is resilient, and a world that is and will remain free. Thank you. God bless our merchant mariners, God bless our troops in the Persian Gulf, and God bless the United States of America.